Now let's go to CBS News Chief Washington correspondent and host of Face the Nation, Bob Schieffer. Bob, good morning.
Good morning.
Boy, a new day has dawned, and it feels a lot like the day before and the day before, doesn't it?
I don't know. I'm not that awake yet. I can't gauge that.
It's just interesting, though, to listen to the vice president, listen to a former presidential candidate, John McCain, and the wrestling matches are very much the same as they were yesterday and the day before. And after this speech last night and the sort of moments of rousing coming together, not much has changed, or has it?
Well, and not much will change until we get the reaction of the people who watch this on television. The president, this was a very different president than we've seen in recent speeches. This was a president who really took the fight to the Republicans last night. He said, "You got better ideas? Call me. We'll consider them." He was going after people in both parties for the inability to get together. But did it work? If they do come together, it will be because people out in the country saw the president last night and said, you folks in Congress need to get together. On the other hand, if they didn't like what the president said, they'll tell their representatives and senators, I don't like any of this.
Right.
Don't come together. So we can't know yet whether the president was successful last night, but this was a president who's gotten a lot of criticism in the past, Harry, for being too cerebral, for being too dispassionate, for being too much above the battle.
Right.
His main goal last night was to change that and to try to connect himself and to associate himself with some of the anger and some of the frustration that people out in the country are feeling about Washington's inability to work. We just can't know until we see what the public reaction is as to whether this was successful or not. But that was his goal.
Do you see this as a White House somewhat chagrined?
I don't know if it's a White House somewhat chagrined, but it is a White House that understands that this administration, the president's administration, is in deep trouble. They sort of almost bet most of the ranch, not all of it, but most of it, on passing a health care reform bill, and that didn't happen. And I think the other significant thing last night, Harry, was it was nearly 35 minutes into the speech before the president mentioned health care. Most of this speech last night was devoted to jobs. Again, this was the president responding to polls, to calls out in the country to do something about the economy. He knows with 10% unemployment, he's going to remain, it's going to be very difficult for him to get anything done. He is putting health care aside for a time and putting the focus on the economy and improving jobs. That's what happened last night.
Bob Schieffer, good to see you. Thanks for getting up this morning.
Thank you.
Do appreciate it.
All right.